Why does parenting with calm and empathy feel impossible when your child is screaming, fighting, or completely melting down? That's what we're diving into today. And trust me, friend, if you've ever thought, I know I should be calm and empathetic, but I'm just done, then you're in the right place. We're unpacking why this is so hard, what happens in our brain, and where you can start shifting the patterns one small step at a time. This episode is all about giving you the tools to stay grounded, even in the chaos. Welcome to Calm Connection Parenting. I'm your host, Jamie Kirkbride, mom of 7, parenting coach, professional counselor, and wrangler of big emotions. If you're raising a highly sensitive child with intense emotions or challenging behaviors and wondering if you'll make it through without losing your mind, you're not alone. Around here, we're all about real-life parenting, sprinkled with a little humor and a whole lot of patience. So grab your coffee, trust me, you'll need it, and join me as we explore tips, stories, and faith-based strategies to help you bring more calm and confidence into your chaotic days. Let's do this. Hey friend, real quick, before we dive in, I want you to know this. If today's topic hits close to home and you're tired of walking on eggshells or second guessing everything as a parent, you don't have to do this alone. That's exactly why I created the Calm Connection Parent Coaching Program, to give you the tools, support, and strategies that you need to create real change in your home. We talk about the things no one else is talking about, and we walk step by step through what works with emotionally intense or highly sensitive kids. So if you're ready for a calmer home and a more connected relationship with your child, I encourage you to head to calmconnectionparent.com and let's get started so that we can work together to bring about the change you desire. Now, I remember this one moment in mothering so vividly. We were driving in the car, already running behind, and one of my kiddos completely lost it over the shoes he was wearing. And I don't mean just a small fuss. I mean a full-blown screaming, kicking, tears streaming down his face. I could feel the tension just rising in my body. My jaw clenched, my shoulders tightened. I gripped the steering wheel to hold myself back from what wanted to come out. And even though I knew I was supposed to respond with empathy, every part of me just wanted to yell, "Seriously? It's just shoes." And that's when it hit me. I wasn't just dealing with his emotional dysregulation. I was battling my own as well. In that moment, I didn't feel like the calm, connected parent that I wanted to be. I really felt like I was going to lose my mind. In fact, I may or may not have muttered something along those lines. All right, embarrassingly, I hate to admit it, but what came out of my mouth was, "God, please help me. I'm going to lose my mind." But over time, I started to uncover why calm and empathy can feel so hard in those moments and what we can do to change that. So today I'm going to walk you through what's really going on when your child is falling apart and why it feels so hard to be the one who has to hold it all together. Because let's be honest, you're not failing. You're likely just overwhelmed and sometimes maybe overstimulated. I know that's oftentimes what would do it for me. And once you understand what's underneath the surface, you're going to be able to respond with empathy and calm without losing yourself to the chaos and the big emotions and the bigger behaviors. So I want to share 3 important points with you today. First of all, your brain is wired to react, not reflect in the heat of the moment. What does that mean? Well, your child is melting down. Your brain shifts into survival mode, just like their brain is. It's not just their dysregulation, you get swept into it as well. Why does this happen? Well, because our brain reads emotional chaos, like the screaming, the kicking, the yelling, the hitting, as a threat. And quickly, without us even choosing, our fight, flight, and freeze response kicks in instinctively before our calm and empathy ever even have a chance to kick in. Well, what can we do about that? The first step is just to begin to notice it. What happens in your body? Start paying attention to your own body's cues. Does your chest get tight? Do you have racing thoughts? Do your palms get sweaty? Does your heart start racing? Do you have increased breath rates? Do you hold your breath? Do you clench your jaw? These are just a few, but think about those signals in your body. And when you notice your own dysregulation, it can become your personal alert system. And then in these moments, you can choose to pause and intentionally ground yourself before you choose to respond. This is so important. Now, the second point I want to share with you is that empathy doesn't mean you're weak or a doormat. It means you're regulated. What does that mean? Well, simply, empathy isn't about letting your child get away with things, get away with behaviors, or get away with being inappropriate. It's not giving up or being weak or being inconsistent. It's actually about staying calm and connected while holding those boundaries. Why is this important? Well, because kids need a safe nervous system to borrow from when their little system is feeling out of control and chaotic. In fact, your regulation helps their regulation. In these situations, we kind of act as maybe our child's frontal lobe of their brain for them when theirs is lacking a skill, still learning a skill, or maybe just struggling because of their unique wiring to do what it needs to do. And I can tell you this, as you start to model this behavior of staying calm, how to problem solve, how to ask for what you need, they can begin to learn it too. They can start practicing these things, and it can become some of their own dialogue. But until they have that skill, we sometimes have to jump in and function as that frontal lobe for them, modeling the behavior. How can we do this? Well, you might try a phrase like this. You're having a hard time. I'm here. Or I'm here for you. I can help. Keep it short. Remember, words can be a real trigger. And we don't want to serve as a bigger trigger to an emotionally dysregulated child. So speak few words. Keep your tone very calm. Keep it short and simple. Soothing. This signals that you're not going to escalate even if they do. It can sometimes be our inclination as their tone gets louder for us to try to go even louder than them. But what if you were to try a whisper? You might be surprised at how even that little small change might make them tone down just a bit in order to hear you. So when we are showing them or signaling to them that we are not going to escalate, but that we are in control of emotions, they'll start taking notice of that. And when we do that, we're expressing to them that we are strong enough and safe enough to handle them and their intense emotions, even when they aren't sure that they can. And let me tell you this, your calm words, remember, very few, and a calm tone will help assure them that they're safe, able to let down, and maybe start dropping some of that defensiveness. Now, we've talked about point one. Your brain is wired to react, not reflect in the heat of the moment. And we've talked about empathy doesn't mean you're weak or a doormat. It means you're regulated. In a minute, we're going to be right back here to hear point three in this discussion about common empathy. But first, I'd like to share this. Are you tired of parenting feeling like a game of who's going to melt down first? Well, let's change the game. With the Parenting with Personality app, you'll know exactly how to approach your child's unique needs and emotional triggers. Say goodbye to stressful standoffs and hello to peaceful, fun-filled days. Parenting doesn't have to be a battle. It can be a joy. Download the Parenting with Personality app on Apple Store or Google Play today to discover strategies and stress-free ways to connect with your child. It's like parenting help in the palm of your hand. That's right. I encourage you to check out that Parenting with Personality app. And feel free to visit parentingwithpersonality.com, where you can find out more about the Yuzu book, the parenting app, and a freebie that is a wonderful checklist for finding your calm. All right, point number three, your empathy tank runs low when your needs are unmet. What does that mean? Well, you can't offer calm connection when you're running on fumes or stuck in survival mode. Your patience disappears when your own needs are constantly considered last, or maybe even overlooked altogether. Well, why does this happen? Because you're human and you're parenting a child with emotional intensity and likely frequent emotional dysregulation. And it takes a lot more energy, intention, and recovery than what most people realize. You are likely living like you're walking on eggshells, oftentimes waiting for the other shoe to drop. And as a result, you can feel like you are constantly on, maybe trying to be 3 steps ahead of your child, trying to prepare the way before them so that it can be as smooth as possible and maybe no upset or meltdowns, while you're also going and cleaning up behind them and some of those big emotions and behaviors and all that needs to be fixed in the wake of those. And it can really be exhausting. I understand. So what can you do about that? Well, I encourage you to start by identifying one thing that helps you refuel. Maybe it's something small, like 10 minutes of quiet, taking a walk, maybe just a simple quiet time or prayer, but schedule it like it matters, because it does. But then I also encourage you to think a little bigger and to schedule in some more effective self-care. Is there a hobby or an activity that brings you some added peace or joy? Maybe increases that level of contentment in life. I want you to make time for that. Maybe you need time with a friend. Maybe you need alone time to read a book, go to a park, enjoy outdoors, but just refresh. Pencil it in. You need to make sure that you are responsibly managing your self-care and your own well-being. It is such an important step to showing up your best in parenting. The very best version of you is one that has been taken care of. It's hard to show up in good form for our child when we're feeling ragged, defeated, discouraged. So I want you to remember, self-care is not selfish. It's necessary. It's part of your job as a parent. And here's the truth, friend. Parenting with calm and empathy isn't about being perfect. It's more about being present. So I encourage you first notice when your own nervous system needs support. What are those signals that you're getting? How do you need to learn to maybe tune in and read your own body better? Second, remember that calm and empathy can coexist with boundaries. They actually work quite well together. And finally, prioritize your own emotional refueling. It can feel virtually impossible to show up as the parent you want to be when you're running on empty. And when you do these three things, I promise you, calm and empathy will get much easier, even in the extremely difficult and chaotic moments. If empathy has felt out of reach lately, if you've ever walked away from a meltdown wondering why it felt so hard to stay calm, why you felt triggered, or why you reacted in a way you swore you wouldn't, please hear this. You're not alone. Parenting a child with big emotions and even bigger behaviors will stretch you in ways you never expected. And while your love for your child is never in question, the path to connecting with them, especially when those intense emotions are running high, can oftentimes be confusing. You might even feel overwhelmed. It might feel impossible that you're going to reach them, let alone connect with them at times. But don't give up. That's exactly why this work as a parent really matters. You see, when we understand what's happening in our brains and our bodies, when we begin to shift our response instead of spiraling in reaction, we can build trust. When we begin to understand and deal in a healthy way with our own triggers, we are far better equipped to handle our child's emotions and understand their triggers. And this builds safety. We build the kind of connection that changes not only how we parent, but how our children can experience love, healthy discipline, and emotional safety. So I encourage you today, give yourself some grace. The fact that you're listening to this episode says you care deeply. And that's truly the first step toward growth. Let calm and empathy start with you. You deserve the same understanding and compassion you're trying to give your child. And I want to share this. Are your child's emotions and challenging behaviors pushing you to the edge? You're not alone. From constant struggles to emotional outbursts, it's easy to feel like you're just one step away from chaos. But what if I told you there's a better way? In the Calm Connection program, you'll get access to a video course, workbooks, and a supportive community to learn practical, faith-based strategies for handling even the toughest of behaviors. But the best part, you get weekly coaching calls with me, where we can explore your child or family's specific struggles and work together for some solutions. If you're tired of trying methods that just don't work, or you feel like you don't have time to add one more thing to your plate, don't worry. This program was designed to fit into a busy parent's life and give you real solutions with some quick wins too. Ready to take the first step toward a calmer home? Visit calmconnectionparent.com and learn more about the Calm Connection coaching program. You've got this, and I'm here to support you. That's right. If you're ready to go deeper, maybe to stop second guessing every parenting decision, or to stop walking on eggshells and finally parent with calm confidence, I would love to walk with you and work with you. The Calm Connection Parent Coaching Program was created for parents just like you, navigating the storm of emotional dysregulation and learning how to bring peace back into your home. You don't have to figure it out all alone. So head on over to calmconnectionparent.com to learn more. I'd be honored to help you take that next step. Until next time, keep breathing, keep learning, and keep loving, because the work you're doing matters, and more than you know. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Just remember, you've got this. And on the days you don't, well, we're in this together. Take a deep breath and keep building those heart-to-heart connections. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might need it too. And don't forget to connect with us at parentingwithpersonality.com or in our Parenting with Personality Facebook support group. We'd love to continue supporting you there. Until next time, keep calm and parent on.